Thank you for coming to my channel, Compass Starlight. This is going to be a reading for the week ahead. I have this Mantegna Tarot. This is a deck of archetype cards. The cards have been previously shuffled. This is a deck where I like to ask, where can we focus our attention? And what kind of attributes can we aim to embody? What kind of characteristics? Where can we focus our attention for the week ahead? So first we have card number 1, Misery. Next we have Melpomene, card number 17. We have, I think this was the first one I saw, Urania, card number 12, and the Duke, card number 7. I'm actually using the same decks I used in my last reading. It's not something I like to do, but I like to vary it. But I was being called to use the same cards for this week. This deck is the Light Seers Tarot. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have Judgment, card number 20. We have the 7 of Cups. We have the 10 of Swords. So you can get 2 more cards. We have the 9 of Swords. 1 more card, please. As I said, all of these cards were shuffled prior to recording. They gave me 2, so I take them. The last 2 were the 8 of Wands and the 2 of Wands. So a lot of Swords energy, a lot of Wands energy for these cards. And then for the Oracle, again, this is the Divine Feather Messenger. I'd like to get 1 card from the Divine Feather Messenger. I'm taking the Pheasant. This is actually the card we got in the last reading. And I was thinking about getting the card from the the Goddess Guidance Oracle here. That one flew out. Excuse me. This is Sedna. Interesting. I haven't seen that in a very long time. The Goddess Guidance Oracle cards are by Doreen Virtue. I also have here my deck of Visconti cards for a clarifier or confirmation on the reading. And a little bit later, we're going to go through the Mantegna Tarot cards first. First card is Misery, card number 1. This is the archetype for dignity. Remain dignified even in adversity. The next card is number 17, Melpomene. It's the archetype for optimism. See a positive side even in tragedy. It's interesting when we get both of those cards come out at the same time. It suggests that there's a change. It suggests that we have to adapt. We have to see the bright side of the change in trajectory. We have to see the bright side in everything that occurs in our lives, or at least it's asking us to do so, to stay optimistic, to see the benefits of a change of plans. And with Misery, remain dignified even in adversity. So if the change of plans is not according to your wish, at least find a way to accept the changes. Find a way to be adaptable. And when those changes involve other people, communities, groups, entities such as an educational institution or an employer, the card Misery asks that we remain dignified even when we don't like what we hear, even when we don't like how people behave, is to keep ourselves in check, to keep our own actions and thoughts in check. Hey, girl. The next card is card number 12. This is Urania. It is the archetype for serenity. Always maintain inner balance. Again, when changes arise or when you face adversity, stay optimistic and learn to be adaptable. Be okay within yourself, because you have the power to manage adversity. You have power to overcome the odds. You have power to set things in order for yourself when there are changes. When things don't seem to be working in your favor, you have the authority over the decisions you make in order to rectify situations that involve your stability in your life. Again, Urania says serenity, always maintain inner balance. And it is with that confidence in yourself and that inner balance that you can take the next steps and plan whatever it is you need to do to make your decisions, how you move forward based on whatever changes have transpired in the present or recent past. And then the last card from the Mantegna Tarot is the Duke. This is card number 7. It is the archetype for generosity. Sooner or later, generosity is repaid. And I always like to say with this card, this is true for your generosity and in love and kindness, your generosity in material things, your generosity in compassion, and it is also true for your generosity in malintent. It is true for your generosity in spite, in hatred, in, think of anything, the way that you see yourself and your actions, the things that you have done. Whatever you have done comes back to you. So your generosity in your behavior will be repaid. This is a reminder to live accordingly, to walk on a righteous path, so that what you are giving, that which you are being generous in, whether it be kindness or compassion, is paid back to you. And to be also mindful that we want to behave in a way that is not untoward, because we would not want that behavior reflected back upon us. Next we have the card the Pheasant. This is from the Divine Feather Messenger deck, and this card says the time is ripe for creation and connection. Focus your attention in these areas. So this pheasant asks us to recognize certain gifts that we have, certain skills that we have, and to step out into the spotlight with those gifts, skills, with your creativity, and don't be afraid to shine. Often we hide things about ourselves that we don't feel confident about sharing with the world. For example, some people really like to sing, practice their singing voices, and yet have a hard time standing up in front of an audience. Using that example, this card asks a person with such skills to take a chance and to start putting oneself out into the world so that your voice is heard, your art or your creativity is seen and experienced, and you might be surprised by the feedback that you get. And that feedback, the positive feedback that you get, can help boost your confidence further. But this card asks us to have the confidence to take that first bold step and show ourselves, to show our skills to the world, to share our art. I will read this one from the book. The modern pheasant is a larger bird that dwells in the hedges, brush, and grassy areas. First traced back to an area in Greece near the Phasis River, from which they derive their name, they are now considered a domesticated bird. For this reason, they have a symbolic association with family life and fertility. Their long tail feathers, commonly called plumes, are associated with sexuality, fertility, creativity, and the expression of this energy. Pheasant feathers are varied in stripes, tapering, and size, and are generally warm in coloration. These traits are also associated with feathering the nest or creating a vibrant, comfortable home life. This divine messenger strolls in to share the gifts of renewed creativity and fertility in all aspects. Have you lost interest in a satisfying and fertile home life? With its warm colors and beautiful plumes, pheasant reminds us how important it is to have a place that feels harmonious and supportive. Not only do these energies enhance deeper connections with a partner, but they also provide fertile ground for creativity. Sexual energy is the creative force that manifests in many ways. It can generate new life in physical form or fuel creativity in projects and ideas. This may be an area you've neglected while busy working on other aspects in your life. Now is the time to stop and direct attention to your methods of connecting and creating. The energies associated with this card are creativity, fertility, sexuality, the season all year round, element, earth and air, colors brown, white, and cream. The affirmation says, I am vibrant, vital, creative, and alive. Now this card does speak to me quite a bit about vitality and virility, the fertility. This is a time that is ripe for us to step into something new, and this time supports newness. We are very much in a transitional stage between ending a cycle and starting something new, or I would suggest we've even begun starting something new. We're starting a new cycle. And we will actually have the full moon in a few days. Again, marking the end of a cycle, starting again. One of these lines said, with its warm colors and beautiful plumes, the pheasant reminds us how important it is to have a place that feels harmonious and supportive. You may not have been feeling like you are in a harmonious or supportive place. So this is a time to really consider how we can control changes, or how we control and adapt to changes so that we have more harmony in our life and so that we feel like we are supported. We have the control or the ability to change the people with whom we surround ourselves so that we do feel more supported. This may indicate a physical move. It may indicate a move from one job to another, a change in educational institutions, a change in church or place of religious worship in which you worship with a community. We are being asked to look at the people around us, the people we surround ourselves with, and rediscover how we can find new groups of people with whom to surround ourselves that will be more supportive of our creativity and our endeavors. And this, in and of itself, can enliven and revitalize ourselves, our creativity, our life force, our enthusiasm. Now, I did pull this card from the Goddess Oracle, the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. This is Sedna, Infinite Supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. This is to have confidence that we have everything we need to take each next step on our journey. We are being supported by the divine. The divine has our back. There is a divine plan, and we are fully equipped to make the decisions, make the moves, make the choices, to have the enthusiasm to do different things. We are fully equipped to make changes in our lives. We are fully equipped to make sound decisions for ourselves and the directions of our lives. There is an infinite supply. We have the wisdom and the knowledge. We have the experience to face adversity. We can move in any direction. It will support us. We will be supported. We will be able to navigate different people and environments based on our wisdom and experience from everything that we have previously experienced in life. The book says, "This is an abundant universe filled with more than enough for everyone. Yet the energy format of the planet is about polarities. In this instance, it's about giving and receiving. The key is to balance the two." And again, this brings us back to the message of the Duke. Sooner or later, generosity is repaid. The key is to balance the two. Yes, giving and receiving. If you only give, you'll feel drained, resentful, and experience lack. If you only receive, you won't enjoy what you have. Balance comes from fearlessly giving as you're guided, and then receiving with joy and gratitude. It's exactly like breathing. Both the inhale and exhale are identically important. Practice giving and receiving daily, and you'll never want for anything. Another message with this card says, don't worry about the future. Know that you'll always have enough to eat. Your needs will always be provided. Spend time at the ocean. Swim with the dolphins. Move to a beach or island community. Go swimming, sailing, or surfing. Give time or money to a cause that protects the ocean. So apparently this card is very much connected to ocean energy. It may not be quite the time of year to go swimming in the ocean, but you can spend time near the ocean if it's possible. Otherwise, perhaps this card is asking us to connect with water of some sort, a body of water. I think specifically the idea in the connection with the ocean is that we have tides with the ocean. There's an ebb and flow, just like with the moon, and this card really talks about or touches on the give and take, right? You give and you receive, just like the ocean comes up to the shoreline and then it recedes. Balance, balance. So for the tarot here, this one is the Light Seers Tarot with the Two of Cups, the Judgment, the Seven of Cups. There's a lot of choice. But with the Two of Pentacles, we're weighing the balance of material goods, of earthly things, weighing the balance. Sometimes, hey Ladybug, sometimes this balance, though the coins, the pentacles, speak to us of the material world and material things, it can also indicate our experience in this material world. So with the Two of Pentacles and weighing the balance, this can be figuring out what serves you in this place, in this adventure, right? My point is, am I being supported in this relationship? Am I being supported at this educational institution? Is this the right place for me? is really what this comes down to. It is this or that. It can be work or play. There has to be a balance, and it is a card of balance. So if you're wondering, is this the place for me? Is this the educational institution for me? Is this the place I want to live? Or should it be somewhere else? Does this relationship work for me? Or is it not serving me? It is this or that. The balance. And how you feel. Weighing the balance of this relationship. Weighing the balance of this endeavor. Whether it be with an employer, your job. Is this the job, or is there another one better? So we're at that point of making a decision. Really evaluating the weight of how this thing, whatever it is, impacts your life. This is where the choices come in. This probably isn't something of, do I want to keep this table or let it go and find a different piece of furniture? It could be, suppose, a car, because it's a big investment. But this is more likely something greater. This is something of long-lasting impact that you are trying to choose, whether it be a friendship, a connection with your family or a family member, a love relationship, as I said, an institution of education, or an employer. It is something that has a large impact and influence in its support over your life. With the Judgment here, this is a card of rebirth. It is sometimes seen as a card of cause and effect, because it asks us to have self-awareness and to reflect upon things that we've done, the repercussions of our past actions, because basically, based on those past actions, we now have to close the chapter and move forward and never look back. So the changes may be a result of our past actions. And now is the time to say, this is how I experienced relationships. This is how I interacted with people in this environment or that environment. And now there is a sense of self-reflection and rebirth, because you are changing. Experience has forced you to make an assessment of yourself, and has forced you to make changes in how you live your life. And now you look back and you see how you've interacted in past relationships. There's a change in how you move forward and you interact with others as you move forward. Does it seem like these are associated? I feel like they are, but maybe I'm not really connecting them very well. From the Mantegna Tarot, there's a suggestion that we have faced adversity, that we have faced situations in which we have to remain balanced, that now is a time of change and we'll get the karma from those changes. The time is ripe for creation and connection, and focus your attention in these areas. Previously, you may have not focused your attention on yourself and your ability to create. But now, based on whatever experiences have transpired in your life, you're being asked to evaluate your role in whatever those experiences were, how you interacted with people in those experiences at your school, at your place of employment, your experiences with your family members, or in your love relationships. You're weighing the balance. What was my part? And do I want to continue investing in this one or that one? Do they serve me? If I have changed, maybe they don't. It's time to pick something new. It's time to choose something new, a new path. And here we have the Seven of Cups. All these options before us. with the potential for fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, it being a card of cups, a water element, emotion. We have all of these choices from which to choose that could provide emotional satisfaction for us. Which one are you going to choose? It's such a new outlook. It's a new take on how we are moving through life. It can be really hard to decide which choice is going to be the best one for you, especially if you have been hurt in the past. We are looking at the past, the Ten of Swords. What have I experienced and what has caused me heartbreak? What have I experienced and what has caused me sleepless nights? The Ten of Swords, the Nine of Swords, perhaps this weight of feeling betrayed or stabbed in the back is lifting as we go from the Nine of Swords from the Ten of Swords to the Nine of Swords, right? That pain is being reduced. This is leaving the past wounds, the past heartbreaks in the past. There is a bit of fear here that choosing the wrong endeavor, the wrong opportunity, will bring us heartbreak again, will bring us betrayal again. There is that fear with these two cards together. And knowing that, being aware of that, can give you a sense of sleepless nights. But this here, the Nine of Swords, is all in your head. This is your self-imposed blockage. These birds are your thoughts. What if, what if, what if? And we are being asked, again, to be optimistic. We have the supply today for all of our tomorrows. Though we may be stuck in a point of thought, considering our past and what if I choose this for my future, it doesn't turn out well. We are being reminded in the reading that we are coming up from the waters renewed. We have a new sense of ourselves and the way we relate to the other people in our world. This card is just showing you that, yes, the past existed, but we have grown from it, and we need not worry that we are going to make the same mistakes. We have learned the lesson. Now we have the wisdom to move things forward without as much of a risk of choosing poor decisions, choosing poor connections, choosing connections with people, places, and things that aren't in balance, that will not reward us. No, that is not the message. The message is that we are equipped to face the world and the choices ahead of us that will bring us more prosperity, more hope, optimism, abundance. Moving forward, we are coming to and approaching life with a new perspective. Swiftly, quick movement forward with action, fire, passion. Eight of Wands. Very much inspired energy. And then we come to the Two of Wands, which is choosing a direction and setting out on a new adventure. It's very uplifting. But even though I feel like this is uplifting, these cards of inspiration, motivation, and support lead us here to the Eight of Wands and the Two of Wands, feeling passionate and creative and making a choice, choosing something that can bring us out into the world, out into our next destination, our next adventure. I am glad that these other cards play out this way to show us that, yes, this reading recognizes that we have spent time living the consequences of choices we've made in the past that maybe weren't the best for us. We have lived through strife, struggle. It has not always been easy. And yet, by facing forward and starting from a place of optimism, a renewal, a rebirth. We do have new opportunities coming towards us, for us, things that are exciting, things that will excite us, opportunities that are more likely to balance with us. And though they may at first appear like challenges, right? All these things, the challenge to choose. Even if you choose one, it's like starting a new job. The first day you walk in there, you might feel a little bit nervous. Why? Because we feel like we don't have all the information. We feel like we don't know all the ins and outs, and we won't until we step into the role. Yes, we may have an outline of job duties, for example, but you're not really going to know how you're going to interact with other people. You're not really going to know how you're going to, how quickly you're going to be able to do something that is required of you through your work until you actually get in there and figure out how things work. So there is always a little bit of fear as we step into something new. But this reading is reminding us that we have what it takes. The card wanted to flip out, but did not. All right, so we have the 8 of coins. We have the 8 of coins here. This card suggests hard work paying off. All right, so we had the 6 of cups was the first card that came out anyway. It's come out again. It's meant to be. And the 8 of cups. These are good cards. So the 8 of coins suggests the hard work. Our hard work has paid off. So even though we have faced challenges, even though we have overcome things, we have continued to work on ourselves, work on our path, work through the world, and we are, does that make sense? Making progress. We have learned. It's like you keep doing something repetitive and you eventually get the skills for it. So if there's a lesson that you've had to go through over and over, time and time again, you finally learn the lesson, right? You are now skilled at that. You've done the work. So with the 6 of cups, this is a card of nostalgia and looking back, but it's also generally good memories. It is also, the 6 of cups is also a card of balance. The 6 is, it is overcoming. It is feeling a sense of relief and reward and recognition. It being the suit of cups, it does speak to emotion. There may be someone from your past coming back. It's possible. It's not really quite what I'm picking up in this reading. But it could be a connection, like a work connection, for example. The 8 of cups, this is the card of walking away. We are walking away from the past. We are walking away from the pain. We are walking away from things that no longer serve us. We've lost our taste for what's in this cup. We've lost our taste for the contents of this cup. It no longer serves us. We want to go on to find the 9th cup, the 10th cup, the fulfillment. And we have a strong sense of ambition to go out on a new adventure to find that which would fulfill us in those 9th and 10th cups. We have the 9 of wands here. The 9 of wands is a card of, it's one more battle to fight. You are so close to getting the 10 of wands and then putting down the burden of that. Really, these cards are, they don't have images on them. Like, it's more difficult to refer to the traditional tarot. But this is typically a card of someone who has fought hard, fought the hard fight, fought the battles, one more battle in them to stand up and make it through. This is about perseverance. You're going to make it. You have the supply today for all of your tomorrows. You have overcome up to this point. You have one more battle to fight. I mean, the reality is that we probably have several battles to fight in our lives, right? Challenges to overcome. But regarding our current energies, it's like one more hurdle to get over, to let go of the 10 of Swords, the 9 of Swords feelings. And chances are that may be the release of a contract, this 9 of Swords, this final battle, right? If you have been going to a school or a job, let's say we'll do job for this example, but if you have been working at a job and you're really not happy there, you've already interviewed with another employer, you get the go ahead, you're getting the job. This last battle here would be putting in your resignation notice to your current employer. That's basically what this last hurdle is. If it is a love relationship, for example, this might be the last conversation. This last battle might be the last conversation that you have with somebody to say, yep, I'm done, and resolve, if it's signing divorce papers, or perhaps divorce papers are already signed, it's the final division of property. If it's an educational institution, again, it would pertain to perhaps contracts that you have, making this last final action to terminate the contract so that you can move into the new educational institution. It's kind of, that last battle looks like it's the final breaking of contract that will allow you, or disseminating of that, I don't know, what am I trying to say? It's the last presentation to another party to say, I'm moving off in another direction, is basically what I'm suggesting is the last battle implied by the 9 of Wands. Because we have this fiery inspiration and we do want to go on to something new. This is, you may be at this point with the 7 of Cups, choosing choices. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? To what do I choose? But when you finally make that decision and you choose to walk away, the 8 of Cups, you're going to have to release yourself from some kind of contract. That was what I'm seeing as this 9 of Wands here. And it's because you have this fire and this impetus to move forward into a new direction. The 2 of Wands, going after what you want, going after your pursuit of happiness, seizing the day. The world is your oyster, new adventure, etc. That's the message for the week ahead. Thank you so much for coming to Compass Starlight. Be well.